lesson, we're going to talk a little bit about some other things you can do with your strumming hand. For this particular lesson, we're just using 6 chords: C, F, G7, A minor, D minor, and B flat. And none of those are particularly difficult. Luckily, we chose easy ones for this lesson because the focus is on the strumming hand, not the chording hand. Later when we get into more chord work, of course, you'll put the focus elsewhere, but for this lesson, we're putting the lion's share of our attention on that strumming, moving hand. So to review these chords real quick, we're using C, we're using F, we're using G7, and we're using A minor, we're using D minor, and we're using B flat. Now here's a disclaimer with this B flat chord so we don't get in trouble with any theory snoots out there. Basically this technically is a B flat major 7 because we are not barring. If you wish to bar in any of these examples and play the rest of the B flat, be our guest. We're leaving the door open to play it the jazzy way without any bar so you can have a nice relaxing position. Okay, let's discuss using the thumb versus the index finger. In all the basic strums, you kind of gravitate towards strumming with the thumb or strumming with the index finger, or kind of a random combination of both when you're first starting out. So this first strum we're going to teach you, called the universal strum, used everywhere in just about any kind of music. Basically, you can feel free to play that all with the thumb or all with the index finger, or a combination of both. We're not going to worry too much about that. What we want to focus on is the rhythm. Let's take a look at that. Instantly you'll recognize that in so many songs. When you hear someone just strumming along around a campfire, yes, that is the universal strum. And basically once you learn it, it will become so ingrained in your playing that you'll probably use it in your sleep, literally. So looking at the chart, we can see that we start with a down. Remember, you can use your thumb or your index. For these examples, I'm using kind of the nail of my index finger. And we strum down, and then what the little arrow underneath means is we come back up, but we miss the strings. So that's what's key here. In some cases we'll consider that a rest, but in this case we're considering it, we're just missing the strings on the way back up. So we strum down, we come back up, miss the strings, strum down up, we go down and miss the strings, and then we strum up, down, up. Now that will seem incredibly weird when you first learn this, but trust me, once you get it ingrained, your body, your hand will notice that all you're really doing is strumming down, up, down, up, down, up. And you're just lifting off your hand at different times, sort of like a clutch, to make different rhythms. For example, if I just strum down, up, and paint across the strings, I think of it as a motor, and I lift my hand at certain points, sort of like disengaging a clutch. That's the concept behind this strum. So we're just going to hold a C chord with the left hand, and we're going to explain this one more time and then play it together. So you're going to strum down, miss up, down, up, miss down, up, down, up. So now we're going to strum it, and it'll sound silly, but we're going to say down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up. I know, it's folk ebonics, just bear with us. So here we go. It's going to sound like this. Quick demo. Down, down, up, down, up. Again, down, down, up, down, up. Okay? So think about that, and let's try it after the count of 2. 1, 2. that, practice it as much as you need, and then we're going to move on to playing a basic chord progression we call chord progression 1, which is C, F, C, and finally G7, with our universal strum. Ready, set, go after the count of 2. 1, 2. Beautiful. Rewind that and play it as much as you need. Now we're going to learn a really cool strum where it sort of verges on fingerstyle because we're differentiating with plucking different fingers. This is called the Carter strum after Mother Mabel Carter with the Carter family. And I'm sure there were folks who played that particular rhythm before her, but she kind of popularized it in that era. Okay, with this strum we're going to be picking with the thumb a single string, and then the index finger will be strumming down and then coming back up and kind of catching that last string or hitting a couple. It's not really critical on that up strum, but the idea is we're going to pick with the thumb and then we're going to strum down and up. When you come back up, remember, if you catch one string or a couple, it's fine. It's just a variation. So the idea with the Carter strum is thumb picks a single string and then index finger goes twice. It's a really cool groove. Check it out. Very neat. So we're going to try the Carter strum back with our chord progression number 1. After the count of 2, join us and strum. 1, 2. So the first move to practice this, we're going to do the raschiato, and then we're going to come back up and strum an up strum, just to get used to those two motions. The strumming down with the fan, and then coming back up. 1, 2. Once again, to get the complete lesson, just go to JamAlong.org, go to the lesson library, click on the ukulele lesson category, and of course choose any lesson you wish. In this case, click on the Fun with Rhythms lesson, and you'll see the video screen with the entire lesson, as well as, of course, the lesson charts containing all the chord positions, the chord progressions, the rhythms written out,
so you can print them and have them handy. And of course, we have all the audio tracks under there as well in the audio player for jamming along with. See you there. Let's jam and have some fun.